Hello friends, how are you? Hope you all are fit and fine. Friends, today I am creating this video about a very important topic. Indeed, this topic is need of the hour. Friends, today I want to discuss about basics of first aid. At any moment, you or someone around you could experience an injury or illness. Using basic first aids, you may be able to stop a minor mishap from getting worse. In the case of serious medical emergency, you may even save a life. That's why it's important to learn basics of first aid skills. Please watch this video till end to know basics of first aid. Actually, friends, today I am having little bit sore throat, but no worries. I am having Dr. Emily with me from Royal Brisbane Hospital, Queensland, Australia. I request her to read this useful content for you people. Thank you, Dr. Emily, for being with me. Over to you.
No worries, Dr. Baljinder, I will definitely help you out to read this content for you. Hello everyone, today I will teach you some basic information about first aid. So please watch this video till end. If you have any query you can comment your questions below, thank you. First aid is the first and immediate assistance given to any person suffering from either a minor or serious illness or injury, with care provided to preserve life, prevent the condition from worsening, or to promote recovery. It includes initial intervention in a serious condition prior to professional medical help being available. First aid is promptly helping people who are suddenly sick or injured. For example, first aid is used at accidents to help an injured person until they receive medical treatment. First aid is also used to help people who suddenly become sick until help arrives or they can be taken to medical care. A person does not need much equipment to give first aid. A package of things useful to give first aid is called a first aid kit. Lives can be saved even without a first aid kit. What is required is basic knowledge. First aid can be done just about anywhere that an emergency requires. In places far from hospitals, first aid may be the only help possible until the person can be taken to a hospital or clinic. Emergency medical dispatchers are trained in first aid, so that if there is an emergency, they can give the caller some information on what to do until the ambulance arrives. Goals of first aid. First aid skills are kept simple on purpose so that people can remember and use them in an emergency to save at least one life. One set of goals of first aid is called the 3 Ps. Preserve life, stop the person from dying. Prevent further injury, stop the person from being injured even more. If possible, an injured person should not be moved. First aid can include how to safely move injured people or move them anyway with less harm if there is no choice. Promote recovery, try to help the person heal their injuries. Another set of goals for keeping a badly hurt person alive is sometimes called CAB. C stands for compression. A stands for airway. B stands for breathing. Compressions keep blood inside the body and the heart beating. Compressions refers to a part of CPR called hands-only CPR, where someone pushes with their hands on the center of a person's chest over and over again to keep blood flowing to the brain. This requires no kit and only a little training. Emergency medical dispatchers can tell a person how by telephone or radio. Keeping blood inside the body can be done using a piece of cloth which soaks up blood to apply firm pressure to the bleeding area. This direct pressure is the simplest and most effective way to stop bleeding. Others such as a tourniquet are taught in first aid classes. If a first aid kit is not there, a cloth dressing for direct pressure can be made from ripped or cut clothing. Traditionally it was taught to use the patient's clothing, if practicable, as any bacteria will be familiar to the patient. Airway, keep a path open for air to go from the mouth to the lungs. Turning an ill person on their side if they have vomited may help keep the airway open so they can breathe. Moving a hurt person can make their injuries worse. But without an airway, a person cannot breathe and will soon die unless an airway can be reopened. A choking person with no airway can be helped with abdominal thrusts, sometimes called the Heimlich maneuver. Breathing, move air from the outside into the lungs. Giving breaths is blowing air into someone else's mouth while holding their nose shut and watching their chest rise from the air you blow in. This is taught as part of CPR. A helper could get sick from giving breaths to someone who has a disease. A CPR class can teach how to use a CPR mask to make this much safer. A first aid kit may include a CPR mask or barrier device. First aid kit. Any emergency can be handled easily with adequate preparation, including a medical one. A well-stocked first aid kit kept within easy reach is a must for every home. Preparing and maintaining a first aid kit is also a great way of teaching kids about safety, though it should be stored well out of their reach. Though ready-made first aid kits are available at most medical stores, it is simple to put together one at home. Here's what you need to keep in mind when you make your own first aid kit. Check the expiry date. One of the most important things you need to keep in mind is that medicines have a shelf life and must be disposed carefully once it goes past the expiry date. Store in a dark, cool and dry place. The shelf life of medicines decreases if kept in a humid place. Hence, avoid keeping your first aid kit in bathrooms or places that are humid or moist. Medicines also need to be kept away from direct sunlight. Use appropriate containers. You must ensure that all your first aid kit supplies are kept in large, waterproof and non-breakable containers. Organize by function. Segregate each supply according to its usage. Keep wound tending supplies in one resealable bag and medicines that treat ailments in another. Share the knowledge. Train everybody in your family on how to use a first aid kit, as it is very essential that everyone in the family knows how to give basic first aid. An ideal first aid kit should have a pair of gloves, scissors, sterile cotton bandages and gauze pieces, antiseptic, a ruler to use as a splint for fractures, muscle relieving cream or spray, crepe bandages, a tourniquet to control profuse bleeding, band-aids for minor cuts, and antibiotic cream like soframycin or betadine ice packs. Keeping a first aid kit in every educational institutions, commercial and private vehicles and household is very important, so that when a problem occurs, precious time is not lost in assembling material. The time between any injury and giving first aid is the golden window period, so that maximum benefit of the first aid is derived. Emergency do's and don'ts. Fever. The usual medication for fever is paracetamol, but may vary for every individual. If you are traveling and your child catches a fever, it is advisable that you keep tracking his temperature. Make sure the child is kept warm enough. Always talk to your doctor and pack the medicine she recommends for your children. Burns. If your child has scalded her hand, the first point of action is to put the hand under cold running water for a few minutes before applying any lotion or anti-burn cream like Burnol. If the burn starts wrinkling and drying, it is advisable to keep it open. It is necessary that you dry out the burn with a piece of sterilized gauze before you apply any antiseptic or anti-burn cream. Dab at the burn and do not wipe it. In case you do not have a burn healing ointment, the white of an egg or honey can be used to cover the scald till you see a doctor. Wounds. A bleeding wound has to be cleaned with water first and then with an antiseptic solution like Dettol or Savlon. Wipe the wound with a sterilized gauze pad. If the wound needs to be covered, use sterilized bandages and gauze tape. It is necessary that you make sure the wound is clean and dry before you apply an antiseptic cream on it. Betnovate and soframycin are the commonly used creams, but check with your doctor before you pack them in your first aid kit. Nasal blockage. Nasal blockages usually occur when a child has a cold. The only remedy is to make your child drink hot or warm water, steaming as described by the pediatrician, or hot water fermentations. Applications of a Vaporub may also help, if your child is not allergic to it. Sprains can be bad if they are not attended to immediately. If your child suffers a sprained ankle or a sprained wrist, it is important that you massage the injured ankle or wrist with Annis pack. Tie a bandage securely around the injury. If there is a break anywhere, it is always useful to hold the broken bone in place by tying a splint on either side of the injured area and holding it there with the help of a bandage till you reach the doctor. Splinters. In order to remove a splinter, you need a pair of tweezers, some gauze and an antiseptic liquid. Usually splinters go under the skin or nails by piercing through the skin. You must ensure that the splinter has not pierced the skin too deep before trying to remove it. If you do not see the end of the splinter, do not attempt to squeeze the spot where the splinter is set. Trying to remove the splinter forcibly will cause it to break inside the body. In such cases, it's best you let a doctor check it out. After removing the splinter, apply an antiseptic liquid. Do not keep the wound open, as this can lead to infection when the wound comes in contact with the bacteria in the surrounding air. So in nutshell, first aid should strictly be given only till a doctor arrives. Moreover, the first aid provider should make sure he or she is safe while giving first aid. For example, if you are helping a fire victim, make sure that you are not in the line of fire. Also, call for help. Do not attempt to do everything alone. If you like this content on first aid, kindly like, subscribe and share YouTube channel Techno Champ. Thank you.